Alright everybody, once again this is Adam from Alaskacutthecord, and as promised this is going to be the sequel, and we'll see if the Hatsan Piledriver can do itself one better here than it did in the last video.
Come join us out here.
We got a lot of good comments on the last video, and I want to take just a moment to address a couple of those. One of them was a misstatement by me, and that was I mentioned that it was .457 caliber, which is like 9mm, and it's not. It's far closer to a 12mm than it is 9mm. So my correction on that. The other comment I wanted to address is two different people had mentioned that there may have been a baffle strike, which was why my trajectory was far off from the first shot. And as soon as I saw that comment, I went and I pulled the baffle and I looked at it with a flashlight, and sure as heck, there had been a baffle strike. You could actually see a spot about in the middle where it just ticked the bottom side, which made it come up and give a far more significant one in here. You probably can't see that. I cleaned it up so that it wouldn't be such an issue. But that is exactly why the gun was shooting so far off. Now, why was it shooting so far off, you say? Well, what I found is that the adapter right here, it's anodized aluminum and it's precision machined to fit this barrel. That should be just fine, right? However, after they machine it, they send it out for anodization, and that's where they anodize it. It's a protective coating for aluminum, and they didn't account for how much that was adding. When you add 1,000th to a diameter, you're actually adding 2. So this was too tight. I should have probably caught that and cleaned it up before I drove it on. It wasn't on quite all the way, and it wasn't seated up against it wasn't beaded, I guess we'll say, all the way up against the shoulder. So I think, I'm just guessing here, that was probably the issue with the baffle strike. Since I've got the new gun here that was provided, I actually, before I installed this, I spent about 45 minutes with a piece of emery paper, and I removed all the anodization and made sure that it fit on with just a light tap. So I hope that was resolved. Once again, I have not fired the weapon. I haven't done anything with it. And in fact, I picked up one more thing. Check this out. This is the Umarex, or Ready Air by Umarex. Finally, with our own compressor, I don't have to go anywhere and get my tank filled, which isn't a very big tank. So with this compressor, I can fill my own tank, I can fill the gun, I can do whatever I need. So without further ado, let's get started. And I want to mention one other thing here. Make sure that you watch till the very end. There's going to be kind of a neat thing going on for kind of the Airgun Society up here in Alaska, and you want to watch to the very end, and I'll show you what that's about. Let's see what all comes with the Ready Air then as far as the package. So here's what we got. Quite a bag of stuff. We've got a power cord if you're running it off 110. We've got instructions. We've got the airline that comes off of it. And coolest of all, we've got 12-volt adapter. So what you can do with this, you could actually take this hunting far, far away from where we are, or electricity, and you could put this on the battery of your truck or your car, and you could actually run the compressor to fill your tank and your gun. One other thing that's important to note when you get one of these, it is not going to come with these adapters. Okay, these little adapters, this one here, that guy right there, this is for the tank. I can put this on the tank, and the adapter that comes with your air gun will screw into there, so you can quick connect that to your air gun. Don't forget that. They're not expensive. They're like 12 bucks or something. And then to go from the compressor to the tank, I have the same thing, but in a double male. So I can quick connect to the tank and quick connect to the compressor. So in the meantime, my tank is about empty. So let's hook this up and let's let's see how long it takes to fill the tank. Now, these fittings on here, you notice you've got your red for positive, your black for neutral. Goes with the colors of your wires here. You can't screw that up. You got your power right there. This is your drain, okay? Whenever you compress air, any of the water that is in that air getting compressed is going to accumulate in the compressor. You want to drain that every time. But when you're going to start it, obviously make sure it's closed. Now, when you put your fitting on here, you don't use any tape or anything like that. That could get in an airline, could get in your tank, could get in your gun and cause a failure that way. Just gonna pick that up. Okay, it's brass fittings coming off the compressor, so don't overdo it. All of these come with a plug to protect your fitting in here so that you don't get debris in there. So with that, we're gonna take our double male, insert that, take the plug out of our tank, and insert that. Now that is ready to go. Now let's get some power to it. When this is on, you can see there's different things that you can set. Now I've got the PSI set at a max of 4,000. It'll go up to 4,500, but I've got it set there. Current temp 69 degrees, current pressure 0, and then you can toggle up and down to actually change those settings. So I'm going to start the compressor, and once it's running, then I'm going to open the valve on the tank and let that fill. Pressure that's in the tank is climbing here, and then you'll be able to see it on the gauge there as well. Okay, well there it is. It took about, I'd say probably a little over 10-12 minutes to fill that 100 cubic inch tank. Worked good. It takes a long time to cool down. There's a fan running the whole time. And according to our solar system, our charge inverter, it was drawing about 28 amps. So I would suggest, just an idea, that if you're running it off your vehicle should be running, because I think you're going to kill that battery pretty quickly. The one other thing I would suggest is always with this sort of thing, make sure that you read your instructions first. This is 4,500 PSI. That is not your home air compressor. That creates about 120 to 150. So do be careful. There are procedures for releasing the pressure, both from your tank and from this with your pressure release valve, which also drains water. You want to follow those instructions exactly. If you don't, there could be serious injuries dealing with some of this stuff. Without further ado, we will get set up, go outside, and see if the Hatsan Piledriver shoots this time. Perfect. Bullet. Safe. This should put us a little bit closer to the red. Holy cow, did you see that?
Yeah, wow. A wee bit high.
That's okay. At this distance, that's fine. Okay. Now, one of the things that had come up a couple of times in comments that the addition of a suppressor would change the point of impact. Now, you can see I'm pretty much dead center. More for my knowledge, I want to know what will that do, and also that'll tell us if we are now clear as far as the silencer goes.
Wrong way.
How did you live this long?
You helped a lot.
I'm very hopeful.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Suppressor's tight.
That's tight.
Suppressors are tight. Alright. Will she work again? Works It's working perfect. No hang-ups at all. Okay. Right, safe. Let's see where this goes. It did move it a little bit lower.
A little bit low.
But that is kind of to be expected. So let's see if we've got consistency. We're going to raise it up. Take one more shot. Now, this is 5 shots. I should actually check that. See what our air pressure is at. We're going to take one more shot. Now, it is possible that the air pressure dropping at this point is going to begin to affect the shots, but we'll take one more before adding any air. It's working good. Everything is working smooth this time. I'm happy with it. That shot a lot low, and it should have gone up.
Air.
So at that point, I'm thinking it's air. But windage stayed exactly the same, and nothing else changed. I'm also going to inspect to make sure that it doesn't look like we're getting any sort of baffle strikes. And I don't see anything at all, because if it were shooting low, it'd be hitting on the top, so it seems to be just fine. Now, this gun, when it's time to put air in, the port is right here. And the port, you can't force it open or anything, you'll bend it. So when you want to open the port, the cocking action opens the port. Bringing it up to 250 bar. Okay. Turn the tank off. Release the pressure. Remove this. Okay. Okay. Let's take a couple more shots. See what kind of a difference just changing air pressure makes here. Okay. Went up a little bit, pulled a little bit to the left. Let's see, will it cock again?
Oh, look at that.
It's working perfect this time. Let's take the upper left. Okay, very close. I need... Okay. Now, seems to be shooting about on. Let's see, for instance, how much power this thing has. I mean, as long as I'm out here, I might as well split some firewood.
Really?
Let's see if it'll do that. Think it will? Could we have a new way to make firewood around the cabin?
That'd be actually almost more work, because you gotta fill the tanks, and then fill that tank, and then run the compressor, and then fill the other tank.
Not to mention the expense. Let's see what it does against my precision firewood target. 300 grain bullet again. Gonna aim a little bit below the top. I hit it. Let's see what it did. Is there a point of impact? Huh. It did not come out. I guarantee it didn't ricochet. Huh.
Do it the long way. Lay it down.
How's that gonna help?
So you can put it right in the middle of the rings. There you go.
Will it work again? This gun's working beautiful. There was definitely something wrong with the other one. Okay, that didn't prove anything.
No, but you can see where you hit it.
Yeah. Should we do the frying pan test again? Goodbye, Lodge. It's nice and quiet now.
Oh yeah, it's way quieter with that on.
Okay. And one more time. Works flawlessly. Whew. Punched a hole right in the center. What about, I mean, we're only shooting at 10, 15 yards here. Can we shoot the handle off? See, that's what happens. You get a few shots in and then you start to get cocky.
Right.
Seeing what you can do. And there you have it, folks. The Hatsan Piledriver. The gun itself, before, it had a major mechanical failure. And I will say this time, it works fine. I had also made a mistake on it. You know, it was partly me, part of manufacturing deal, but I would say it's no fault to the Donnie FL suppressor. It's just a manufacturing thing. The gun works. Now, when it comes down to it, would I do it again? Would I purchase this air rifle again? I think the idea behind it is solid. I think it's a good looking gun. There's some stuff I don't like about it. Do I think it's worth $1,100? No, I definitely don't. I think it's overpriced, but only time will really tell here if it continues to work the way it's supposed to, and if accuracy is really there. Then maybe I'll kind of change my tune on that. But initial build quality, I'd say, no, it's not an $1,100 gun, but this one shoots fine. I don't have any issues with it at all. So I'm going to issue you a challenge. Okay, I got a lot of comments. Boy, if I would have spent that much money, I would have bought this or that. If I get 1,000 likes on this video, the next gun you see perched up here is going to be an FX Mark III and a 35 caliber. If that's something you want to see, because it's a heck of an investment on my part, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned here. There's going to be a special event coming up. It's sponsored by Alaska Airguns, Alaska Shooting Specialties, and it is an Alaskan airgun roundup. I'm going to put a picture up here, ding, of the flyer. Take a look at that. If it's something you want to go to, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be food, there's going to be competition, there's going to be giveaways, prizes. If that's the sort of thing you like and you want to know more about this, make sure you check that out. I'll be there. We'll be videotaping. We'll be shooting. So, and don't forget the 1,000 likes and see an FX Mark III. Love you, bye. How'd we do? Wow, check that out. There's a chunk of cast iron stuck right in the wood. Ouch, it's kind of sharp. Take a chunk off of there. Punched right through it like nothing.
Well,
that's where the handle was. Where's the handle?
Right here.
Oh.
Well, some of it. There seems to be.
It seems like it used to be longer.
I think so.
Huh. And there's other. Here's the rest of the handle. So we've got a used frying pan for sale. Normal wear and tear. Don't lowball me. I know what I got.
Right.
Let me know if you want it. I'll sign it.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's in there. The other one veered off down.